guy throwing passes in Cleveland, Baker Mayfield, created a storm unwittingly on Tuesday. Chris, this broke late in the program. It ended up generating plenty of sound and content at PFT all day long on Tuesday. The Baker Mayfield comments about Daniel Jones to GQ magazine. Baker Mayfield told reporters on Wednesday that he reached out to Daniel Jones to clear the air. Not that the air needed to be cleared because Daniel Jones didn't seem to be upset. Mayfield was upset about what happened.
Yeah.
Here's what he said as to what he told Daniel Jones.
It seemed very disrespectful, and I can understand that. But what people didn't realize is the conversation entailed of me saying that I was surprised I was drafted #1 overall too, and then me going on a rant after that about QB evaluation and then me frustration from recruiting processes and stuff that I've had it's very well documented, my thoughts on a lot of that. And so it had nothing to do specifically about Daniel, about the winning and stuff. But, I reached out to Daniel because all that blew out of, way out of hand, and I wanted him to know how I felt. And I've heard nothing but great things from Saquon and Sterling Shepard, guys that, have a lot of respect for him and that I, respect their opinions. And so I just wanted to clear the air with him.
Initially Baker Mayfield said on social media he didn't say it, but then he said, I also said that I was surprised I was the first overall pick. Look, bottom line is he said it, but it was part of a broader conversation. And again, the one thing that Mayfield did not say publicly, and maybe he doesn't want to say or admit or reveal that he was naive, the bottom line is this: he didn't know that the interview was happening.
Exactly.
That's the reality. And we talked about that the other day. That's one of the benefits when GQ dangles that photo shoot and cover every year to one NFL player. And part of that is, hey, you got to go have lunch with our guy. These guys don't realize.
Right.
And they learn the hard way that anything you say can and will be used against you, and that's exactly what happened to Baker Mayfield, just like it happened last year to Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, that's right. It's just not a normal NFL interview for what players are used to. Like if you get interviewed by Peter King, you might talk for a minute and say some things off the cuff that are not going to be publicized, and then at some point you sit down and he turns on the tape recorder and you go, okay, now the interview starts, right? There's a little bit of an unwritten rule there. I'm sure GQ, they're not all into the sports scenes. Maybe they don't know that. They also probably enjoy kind of tricking guys this way.
They know.
Yeah, they know
what they're
right.
doing.
They do know what they're doing. But either way, another piece of evidence of the maturity, the leadership, the man Baker Mayfield is. Yeah, he messed up a little bit. He got a little loose with his lips and talking and whatever else. And I'm sure it was taken out of context to a degree. But he confronts situations head on, handles them, squashes it, makes a phone call. That's what a real man does. And I really appreciate that aspect of him, that he just is not one that's going to hide away from it or try to BS his way out of a situation.
Last year I loved how Jalen Ramsey handled it. He didn't even come out and try to defend any of it. He owned it. And when I had a chance to interview him a couple of months later, he said, I learned from it because you don't realize when you're talking to these people, everything you say is fair game. And that off-the-record exception, that's for folks who have been around the block a few times, not guys in their early 20s who don't even know what on the record or off the record quite mean. Hell, I didn't know it until I was in my 40s.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.